Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 12th episode of the second season of ReZero. And last episode was pretty eventful, I guess you could say. You know, we had Beatrice get stabbed in the back, we had Ram get stabbed in the back, Garfield died too in that scene, I think. We had the return of the bunnies, which are always nothing you want to look forward to. When you look at that window and you see a bunch of white bunnies, you don't think, oh, cute little bunnies. You think, oh god, I'm going to die horribly. So that is kind of what happened there. Although Subaru did get away and was able to get one final lap pillow from Amelia. One of the more disturbing lap pillows I've ever seen in my life, for sure. Because, you know, Amelia's not her normal self, as well as just, you know, the bleeding Subaru. Both those factors kind of combined to make a very odd lap pillow scene. But also, Meili, I think her name was, the nice little village girl. Yeah, she's like a demon beast controller user person that's working with Elsa. So that was quite the revelation for the episode as well, I would say. So yeah, just a lot of things happen in that episode for sure. Hopefully we could start to see some successes from Subaru, because we've reset several times at this point. And if we could get a happier ending than what we've gotten so far, I would appreciate that. So let's see if we can actually pull that off. So fingers crossed. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, did he finally reset? He does look better physically, but the resetting does nothing for the mental, emotional trauma. Yeah, let's try to help her this time. Well, her eyes don't look terrifying, so that's a good sign. No matter how many times it does. So no opening, okay. I think. It's very important that Subaru is here. Obviously. You okay, Garfield? Just get some rest, Amelia. Like Rem is. Throughout the entire season. I would like some more tea, Echidna, if you don't mind. You know, I should try this and see if it works, because I would like to go to her tea party as well. Seems to maybe be working, or he's just dying, one of the two. I mean, something's happening. Ram, when did you get here? Oh, did I miss something? Is anyone gonna worry about Rem? I guess not. Well, it's closing up. He dies a lot, okay? It still bothers me that everyone's just ignoring Rem in this scene. I know that's not the point of the scene, but it is on my mind. Okay, so what exactly was that? It was not pleasant. Okay, so that is kind of what I thought. Back down. So we're just gonna show Subaru visions? Is that what we're gonna do? Because I remember this scene. This was from season 1. This is when Beetlejuice took his body, I'm pretty sure. Missing our chance to become besties. Oh, wow. You really did care. So, how much more of these are we gonna see? Because so far this is rougher than the first trial, if that's what this is. Oh no, another one. The cliff. Was this the final confrontation with Beetlejuice, or no, this was earlier, way earlier. Right, I remember this one too. Man, it's so weird seeing the aftermath of some of these deaths. Snow. Yeah, this was a pretty crazy one. Subaru's never gone for long, though. Is there a loophole in this contract? Oh wow. Reinhardt versus Puck, that is a fight. Considering how broken Reinhardt is, you know? I'd love to see a full-blown fight like that. Oh wow, that is some power. Wow, I think he actually did it. And Elsa. This was his very first death, right? It's nice to see you awake, Rem. For like 3 seconds. Please stop showing me the unthinkable presents, especially that one. I wonder if Amelia's had a rough time with these trials. That sounds like Rem's voice. And that looks like Rem's body. Then why weren't you here, like, forever ago? Oh my god, it feels so good to hear her voice again. But I still can't believe it's not a lie. I still don't quite trust it. Mm. Even if this is not real, I'll take it. You only do so much, Subaru. Ah. Forehead touching. When she says it, I actually kind of believe it. Oh, that embrace. Why can't I have one? Getting pretty close there, Rem. But I'm sure it's gonna, yeah, get stopped. Yeah, there's no way it was ever real. But I'm still kind of okay with it. Now take off that wig, Ram. I'll never forget that episode for as long as I live. I still say I was kind of okay with it, though. So what exactly are you? Do I recognize you? I don't think so. Oh. 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 Nice to meet you, too. She is kind of adorable. Is that a sign that Rem is his true love? That'd be something, wouldn't it? Echidna-chan. That's unfortunate. Faceless bride. Well then. Would explain a lot. I see how it is. So are we gonna have some more tea, Subaru? Please do. Right? That seemed pretty similar to what we got this time. Unreality. Because we're friends. Okay, Echidna. No. He's not cut out to be a magical girl. I mean, I guess it depends on the terms, doesn't it? It sounds nice so far. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, draw you in. Okay. Must at least consider this. Oh. Oh, you scared the crap out of me, Echidna. A kiss. What does that specifically entail? I mean, the kiss is one thing, but handholding might be a bit much. He does have a million RAM after all. Oh, what the heck happened? Did Best Witch show up? Okay. I guess she's here to express her opinion on the subject. Fight, fight, fight! I'm not gonna complain. I'm so glad to have her back. But it's hard not to. Just the tears flying everywhere. I did notice that. I was gonna bring that up soon. Yeah, contract usually benefits both parties in a way. So what exactly does this cost me? Jeez, this is a lot. I mean, how big of a taste are we talking? Oh, another witch. That's the lust, right? Why is she so adorable? Is she not the witch of Moe? It's usually how it is with witches and contracts. But I kind of like them both. Oh, who are you? Oh, yeah, who are you? Are you sure you're not the Witch of Lust? Oh, Sloth. Okay, I guess that works. Whew. Of course, just gonna keep showing up. Our Witch of, Pride, was she? Witch of Greed. It's like almost all of them. I mean, all the ones that left. Here. Obviously, Satilla's not here is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Steins Gate. She's the Witch of Silence now. But he said it so many times. It really is. Safe dates, their value cannot be understated. I don't think it's that bad of a deal, honestly. Just... Oh. Yeah, never mind. This is definitely a deal that we need to accept, Subaru. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is just getting so over the top. And just very pretty. She's definitely making a strong case. I can't deny that. Starting to remind me a bit more of Satella than I'm comfortable with. Damn, that was a big monologue. I could barely keep up with all that reading. Especially with the spinning, making it harder to read. Well, she's a witch, you know. Yeah, I don't see the problem. Rude. uh... Oh. Hey, we fixed things. Okay. Oh. What do you... What do you mean by that exactly? Well, yeah, we had that whole time frame mentioned. That... okay. Okay. Yeah, that's not the answer you wanted to hear. Because that's pretty messed up no matter how you look at it. I can accept that, Subaru. But I don't know how she's gonna feel about this. Wait. Who? Not talking about Satella, are we? Tella. She has a cute nickname for the worst witch. Yeah, in a place full of witches, she still comes across as looking especially evil and witchy. Yeah, no ED. Okay. Well, that was the 12th episode of the second season of ReZero, and yeah, this was another special episode. I mean, how should I describe it? So, what did we start with again? I mean, nothing too much before we actually went to the room itself. And then what we got was something I was definitely confused for a little bit about what exactly was happening, because he was trying to like get into the echidna place, right? And instead we suddenly saw him like dead on a field somewhere with people, and I was a little bit confused, although I did assume it was like, you know, a flashback to a dying scene, and that is what it was, but that was definitely not the only one we were going to get of that. And I guess the point was just to kind of show that it doesn't end exactly when he dies, or like there are different... I didn't quite get that, but they almost made it sound like there were different like parallel universes where things were slightly different. Like if Subaru didn't return by death, what would happen? You know, because the war would still go on, right? But I don't know, because I mean, from what we've seen, right after he dies, things reset, right? But that showed that not being the case, so it's kind of like an if thing, I guess. Like, if he didn't just reset right there, what would happen? I don't know, the whole thing was a little bit confusing, but... You know, I get the gist of it. Like, some of that stuff, if we actually did see that as the audience during that time frame when those things happened, like Beatrice talking about that person and stuff like that, definitely would have given us, as the audience, a bit more to work with as far as speculation about what's going on exactly. So that would have been interesting, for sure. But he got all that, which was pretty rough. And then suddenly Rem, just out of the blue, like I heard her voice, which I often do just in my daily day-to-day life, and then we showed her body, but it was the maid uniform. It could technically have been Ram or something, But eventually it panned up and we saw that blue hair, and it was confirmed that was none other than Rem herself, supposedly, right? I mean, of course, it could never truly be Rem. I never really was completely convinced it was Rem. I knew it was some, because we were already seeing strange visions, illusionary stuff, right? So the odds of it actually being Rem were very slim, you know, especially because we've done the return by death thing before, and Rem never woke up in those other iterations, so why would you wake up now? So there was very little reason to believe that was actually Rem, but I still kind of wanted to believe, and even though I knew it wasn't real, I still was kind of okay with it. That was kind of my stance, because it's still technically your voice actors and stuff, right? So there's still some enjoyment to be had there, but of course it does pale in comparison to the real Rem waking up, which I do hope happens soon, because she's been asleep this whole freaking season, you know? Which I still feel like is just kind of a troll move. Just start a new season of such an anticipated anime and have Best Girl just sleep through the whole thing. That's not quite endless 8 levels of trollery, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. But of course, Subaru knew that it wasn't the real Rem. Although, I don't know, just she was giving him so much of what I'm sure he wants, you know, the comfort, the warm embrace, the forehead touching, kind words, but you know, it's not exactly like her, because she was trying to get him to just, you know, give up, which was the biggest trigger, because part of that legendary scene before with Rem, she was telling him to not give up. It wasn't his style. It's not how he does things. So that contradiction just kind of ruined it. But as she's kind of role-playing Rem here, she couldn't really not say that, because that was, I guess, kind of the point. But I don't know, just I wasn't quite sure what this would end up being. Like, obviously this wasn't the real Rem, but I didn't know what, like, once you pull that curtain back, I wasn't sure what would actually be there. And I never would have guessed what it was. What it turned out to be was just the Witch of Lust. It was absolutely adorable, by the way. So, at first I was like, is this a girl that we're supposed to know? But I don't think we ever met her before. We met plenty of the witches, but I don't think this was one of them. So, yeah, she was just maximum moe. Probably the most moe character in the show so far. I would definitely say that. But yeah, then we have the second half, all the witches showing up. Echidna wanting to do a contract with Subaru, which didn't sound too bad, really. But I guess the real deal breaker was just the fact that Echidna's still kind of a monster, you know? So that really, I guess, is all it took to say no to the deal. I did like just seeing the witches like pop up here and there, especially, you know, our best girl, the best witch of Wrath, just slamming down the ground and being like, no, she's only telling you the good parts of the contract. She's not telling you the bad parts. So you might want to hear about that before you sign anything, and also contact your lawyer. So, and then we just saw them keep popping up over and over again. But of course, the real highlight of this scene was when Echidna just went on this whole, you know, rant about all this stuff, and she has her arms up, and we have sparkles and bubbles, and the camera spinning around, and it was just silly how much effort they put into that, you know? It was just very sillily over the top. That's how I would describe it, probably. But it was great. I mean, props to the voice actors for being able to do that. That was a lot of her dialogue in a row with no interruptions. So, and then eventually just getting a bit dark by towards the end of it, you know? Well, we also met the Witch of Sloth, which, that's quite something. I would have guessed that she was a Witch of Lust, just, you know, for reasons, but Sloth, it makes sense, you know, gives her a good excuse to just kind of lay down in that position, so I'm certainly not going to complain. So yeah, I think I called the Witch of Gluttony the Witch of Greed during the episode, but it happens sometimes. The point is all the witches were there, we all had a good time, even though most of them didn't do much in the scene, they were just kind of there. I still appreciate their presence nonetheless. And then we had one final guest show up. Satella herself, you know, the character that I kind of thought all the witches were more or less similar to, but now that I got to see all the other witches and see how different they are, and now we get to see Satella, who definitely seems the most witchy among the witches. What is she here for? I mean, I guess because we're having talks about contracts with Subaru, who is kind of supposed to be her boy, you know, at least from her perspective. I'm sure she has a thing or two to say about this, you know, right? So yeah, I wonder how this will go. I can't imagine it ending peacefully. We have all our witches in one place. We have Subaru here. next episode could get messy. That's all I'm saying. Especially because next episode is the final episode of the second season, I believe. So yeah, you know, just this was an interesting episode, especially getting to see all the, well, I don't know if it was all of them, but a lot of the death scenes of Subaru and the aftermath after them, because that is kind of something I've always been a little bit curious about. Like, you know, if we did a new immediately reset, you know, what would the people's reactions be to him now being dead? And we got to kind of see that, you know. So yeah, I wonder if Rem ever will wake up. I mean, obviously she will eventually, maybe next season, but it's just not fair. I think that's a real reason why they had that fake Rem there, just to give the Rem fans something, just something, you know, of her in the show, even if it was a lie. Sometimes a lie, a comforting lie, can make you feel a bit better. And that's kind of how I felt there. It was a fake Rem, but it was something. It was a real Rem's voice, technically. So, I'll take it. And especially because what it actually turned out to be was an extremely moe witch, so I can't even be mad because of that. So, yeah, it was definitely an interesting episode. We'll see how things go in the next one, so maybe I'll see you then. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.